California is now learning the hard way that your multi-million-dollar home needs to be protected by something that doesn't just record crime, so that's a happy one, because this state does everything in its power, takeovers and gas station looting sprees, and moves up from there as there's no consequence. The revolving door justice system here has for those who do things that are wrong. And if
Here following multiple break-ins this weekend, including a robbery in the Hollywood Hills, where police tell NBC4 investigates a 75-year-old man was attacked.
So, criminals.
This is the shot that had one homeowner calling 911. Two men enter his side yard, move a camera, and cut the power. His glass door was shattered and his home ransacked. The newest victim of a rash of burglaries in the San Fernando Valley.
She didn't have to cut me off. We were nothing. Your love, she treat me like so up.
Welcome back, YouTube, to all my regulars, and welcome to all my new subscribers and my new viewers. Welcome to the channel. I thank you to everybody that's been subscribing, commenting, and tapping into the channel. We recently reached 100 subscribers, so thank you to you all. And we're doing a giveaway. The question to my subscribers is, what is my second most viewed video on the channel? My second most viewed video on the channel. 3 winners. First place get $100. And yeah, the first 3 people that tell me the answer, they win. Don't forget to catch me on Twitch live every day starting at 5 p.m. most likely. I drop YouTube videos every day, at least 3 videos. I try to every day, 7 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. All bonus videos will be dropped at 7 p.m. And I want to thank everybody that's been supporting the website as well at The Urban Experience at www.thaturbanexperience.com. Today we got a crazy video. I just feel like it needs to be talked about. This is about underfunded police authority in California. Recently they experienced budget cuts in their police departments. So as a result of that, there's been a decrease in police presence. And when there's a decrease in police presence, there's an increase in crimes, mainly burglaries and looting. This video is by Cash Jordan. Shout out to him. That's where I got the clip. And the title of the video is Looters Forcibly Evict LA Millionaires, Wiping Gated Mansions Off the Map. Now, I'm not really sure what this video is about to say if it's correctly matching the title, but I'm quite sure my title will be something different. But being as though this is someone else's video, I don't want to clutter the audio, so I will talk to you all right after the commentary and the video is done. Holla at y'all after the video.
We are following multiple break-ins this weekend, including a robbery in the Hollywood Hills, where police tell NBC4 investigates a 75-year-old man was attacked.
So, criminals in California are targeting well-to-do neighborhoods, cleaning them out completely. But while these home invaders have taken many a mansion for everything it's worth over the last few weeks, they've also gone after working-class families, stealing entire net worths in mere minutes. And with zero police anywhere to be seen, observers say this nightmare is about to get worse.
It's a familiar scene. Police helicopters flying overhead and concerned neighbors in the street after a 6-figure home robbery in the Hollywood Hills.
This is the shot that had one homeowner calling 911. Two men enter his side yard, move a camera, and cut the power. His glass door was shattered and his home ransacked. The newest victim of a rash of burglaries in the San Fernando Valley.
When I looked on the cameras, the one thing they do is that they cover their license plate, so it's really hard to identify them. It seemed very highly organized. That's kind of what's disturbing.
How does this make you feel watching this?
Pretty sad, man. By the time I was at the door, I said, I'm calling the cop because you guys are too many. I cannot handle you guys.
Security cameras captured these men rifling through their belongings back on March 26th. One guy knocked on the door first. Then the family says two others broke in through a small window.
Homeowners say their cameras caught a man checking out homes right before this one was burglarized.
I only heard they got in through her bedroom, ransacked it. They left through the French door in the back. You know, but again, it's happening everywhere.
The most affordable German engine.
This is bad news. According to the mayor of Los Angeles, the police department, they're no longer expanding, they're just trying to stop shrinking. And what nobody's talking about is if you defund your police, pretty soon criminals are gonna come to where you live and they're gonna defund that. Which is exactly what's happening in America's largest sanctuary state, where thugs aren't just protected if they're in our country without permission, but tend to also be released after they do things that are illegal, if they end up getting caught at all. And the longer this goes on, the deeper California digs itself into a lawless doom loop. Meanwhile, the progressive solutions to crime waves like this, they have all failed. And that's a problem because we were told that things like security cameras meant we didn't need as many police. But California is now learning the hard way that your multi-million-dollar home needs to be protected by something that doesn't just record crimes, creating endless footage for news organizations so they can report on stories that just don't seem to have an ending ever, much less a happy one, because this state does everything in its power to empower the very people you see or can't really see because they're covered from head to toe, concealing their identities and their license plates. And that brings us to the real reason this epidemic of lawless home invasions isn't just cleaning out the elites, but also the working class. The working class isn't who this state cares about. And California, to a greater extent than anywhere else, except maybe New York, has completely pitted itself against regular people, not just by driving them into the ground through insane taxes, but also by assisting the very criminals and fugitives who prey upon them. A process that starts during street takeovers and gas station looting sprees and moves up from there as there's no consequence. The revolving door justice system here has for those who do things that are wrong. And if the only consequence thieves and robbers face is temporary detainment while getting arrested, the lawlessness you're about to see is California's way of helping looters traverse the looters pyramid to the very top.
They all came in the store,
Look
they
at
started
this.
messing up with the goods, throwing things here and there, and grab whatever they can grab.
A swarm of kids turning a quick stop at the gas station into pure chaos.
Maybe it could be over 25 to
30 people.
Surveillance video shows the group rushing into the Chevron gas station on Power Inn Road and Folsom Boulevard, overwhelming the store in seconds. Items flying off the shelves, aisles completely torn apart. Store manager Shala Shan says some even stole merchandise before running out the door.
How does this make you feel watching this?
Pretty sad, man.
Look at this. You got this store owner trying to run a gas station, and these people, they show up and they destroy the whole place. Now, when you watch something like this, you got to ask yourself, how many people involved in this got up and did what progressives and the communists love to tell us? They say, oh, they just made a wrong decision. They were with the wrong kids and everything went. No, these are people who built up to this level somehow, and that's the fault of the justice system here. Nobody wakes up one day and decides to go cause tens of thousands of dollars of damages to a business. Now, yes, some of the people in this massive group were probably involved in this flash mob style trash and grab for the first time. But who orchestrated this? Who are the ringleaders? Whose idea was this? What have they done before? And if this is how people start out in California and there's no consequences, why are we surprised that there are home invasions everywhere? And as you're about to see, the consequences for these shoplifters are the same consequences the home invaders face. Watch.
Hey everybody, before we get back to the video, I just want to take a brief moment to tell you about the family business, The Urban Experience, at www.thaturbanexperience.com, where we offer a wide range of products including copper jewelry handcrafted from 100% pure copper, and we also offer body butters including the 2 new flavors we just dropped, strawberry and cotton candy. Don't forget to check out the merch as well, where you can get multiple different colorways of shirts and hats, or you can request to build your own colorway, and you can also get whatever you want put on the brim of the hat, no extra charge. Last but not least, the free category, where we offer Xbox Series X and PS5 games for absolutely free, along with other items. Depending on where you live, you just may have to pay a small fee of shipping and handling. Last but not least, please don't forget to join our mailing list, which is absolutely free. And when you join, you get a 10% off discount code immediately. Those codes can be used in combination with other codes like Twitch subscriber codes and YouTube subscriber codes. So if you join the mailing list, definitely don't forget to mention that you're a YouTube subscriber. I want to thank everybody that's been tapping in and supporting us so far. Let's get back to the video. I was getting ready to stop him from talking because I thought he was going to give a biased, one-sided perspective. But at least he was being fair by basically saying the justice system is the cause of this. When you treat certain people away for so long and you keep them down and you do these evil things to them for so long, you expect them to be nice? You expect them to behave when they say so, when you say so, when they don't even trust you? Not saying that there's an excuse to justify any of these behaviors, but you just gotta think about certain things. Can't be one-sided.
You guys are too many. I cannot handle you guys.
Satish Chandra, the only worker that night, called 911.
I called them at about 8:04, right? They said the police are on the way.
They said that?
Yeah, they said, right? After 10 minutes, I called 8:19. I called them back. I said, man, hey, what's going on? What you guys want me to do?
The Sacramento Police Department telling KCRA in a statement. At the time, the caller was advised that officers were responding to and handling a related call in the 200 block of Bicentennial Drive involving a group of juveniles causing a disturbance.
There is so much crime happening all over California. It doesn't matter if it's LA, doesn't matter, it's NorCal. The police don't have the resources to deal with it. They're totally overwhelmed. They're getting a call over here. They're already on their way over here. This is a nightmare scenario. And this is what's happening with these home invasions. You got people breaking into houses all over town. You got police headed to one reported crime. And what happens? Criminals know there's an opportunity somewhere else. And what's crazy is even though you don't have teenagers committing these home invasions, as far as we know, most of the people that get arrested in these heists, whether it's a jewelry store or a multi-million-dollar mansion, happen to be adults. If adults are operating as criminals in a critical mass, that is going to trickle down to the kids that live in that society, and that's what we're seeing here. We're creating and raising up the new generation of felons and car thieves. Isn't this wonderful? No, it's not.
This is the shot that had one homeowner calling 911 as two men enter his side yard, move a camera, and cut the power. When he arrived at his Valley Glen home minutes later, his glass door was shattered and his home ransacked. The newest victim of a rash of burglaries in the San Fernando Valley. And although this homeowner didn't want to speak on camera, his neighbors, like many in this area, are on edge.
I'd say it's definitely happening more often. There's just been a spike in things that I've been seeing.
Wow. So neighbors are saying this is an epidemic. And why is it an epidemic? It's because crime is not punished at any level. Yes, these home invaders, if they are ever caught and apprehended, something will probably happen to them. But how do you get to be at the level of a home invader? You don't wake up one morning and say, well, I could put on my suit in my closet and go to my office and be an accountant today, or I could join a gang, wear a mask, and break into homes. Gee, which one? Like, that's not the decision-making process of these people. We've created hardened criminals. That's what's happening in these blue states. It's happening in New York. It's happening in California. These justice systems that just let people out as fast as they arrest them. They're the reason you have somebody who becomes a hardened thug and says, you know what, I'm going to steal for a living because all my friends are doing it. Nothing's happening. When I was younger, I knew people who were doing it. Everybody's getting away with it, and I don't want to get a real job working at the same gas station I just robbed. I don't want to get into an economy legitimately because there's no loss of freedom or privilege for these. Seems to be happening to them, so they keep committing crime. And you got to ask yourself, if these folks were arrested and put in jail and lost their freedom, would any of this be appealing? Would robbery be appealing? No, because you lose your freedom once you get caught.
And that's why I gotta disagree, because no, that is not why people do that entirely. Yeah, some people do get put on and get influenced, but they already be having those ideas. And yes, the system did create these criminals. The conditions that was placed upon us created these criminals. And even when you try to do things the right way, you still at a disadvantage. Bosses still discriminate. People, hiring managers discriminate. there's not a high optimism of a black person going to get a job thinking he's going to get it over a white person, to be honest. And then once they're on the locations, you got to think of how they might be treated. Go through all this DEI propaganda. So no, they don't want to work. I agree with not wanting to work, but I would create a business. That has always been my forte in life, creating businesses. Now, even when I was in the streets breaking laws, I wasn't doing this type of stuff though. But there is a small percentage of weak-minded people out there that engage in crime because of the influence of their friends. But that is a real small percentage, and usually they are the losers. They are not the people that's looked at as cool. They are definitely exploited as followers. For criticizing your brother for the betterment of and the advancement of him as an individual or her as an individual has become evil too, because now certain people just use that shit to hate other black people.
2 other homes were hit.
It's terrible, it's not a good feeling.
Osnat Miara's home on Hatteras was burglarized Tuesday night. She says the same thing happened. A camera moved, the power cut, and her back door shattered as burglars tipped over furniture and went through her belongings.
A professional
30
operation.
minutes later on Hesby, homeowners say their cameras caught a man checking out homes right before this one was burglarized.
I only heard they got in through her bedroom, ransacked it. They left through the French door in the back.
Look at this. They had ADT, home security signs all over the place. Didn't do anything because a home security system is useless if there's no man with a badge at the other end of whatever alarm goes off. If the alarms are going to go off and nothing's going to happen and the police response time is delayed because they're shorthanded, because they're dealing with so much crime they can't get to your crime because they're dealing with a crime over here, criminals are just going to go on a rampage. And that's what we're seeing here. And if you started at the candy store, if you went to that footage and you figured out who those people were because they're all on camera, and you showed up at their homes, and if they faced an actual consequence, at least people would understand that the police are serious. You got people getting arrested in these deep blue cities that tell the cops to their face that you can't do nothing to me. I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna be back out. There are militant criminals out there, and they've learned to be that way. They've been taught that being a militant criminal is a way of life and is a viable existence because there is nothing that will happen. And it's so frustrating to watch this happening to people who worked hard and are just being disenfranchised.
NBC.
I.e. Karens and YNs are like that. I done seen Karens and YNs tell police to their face, there's nothing you can do to me.
Force Keenan Willard explains why security systems and cameras may not be enough to stop your home from becoming a target.
Yeah, they're not enough.
It's a familiar scene. Police helicopters flying overhead and concerned neighbors in the street after a 6-figure home robbery in the Hollywood Hills.
That's crazy.
It happened around 9:30 last night on Macapa Drive. The LAPD tells NBC4 investigates 2 men broke in through a window at this home and were stealing $150,000 worth of jewelry.
Now, what people that they're on the wrong track? We need to tell people that there's a better way. Well, people don't listen when to them, the better way is getting what they can now while no one's around to stop them. And that's why these security cameras are useless. All these homeowners were told, hey, if you just go out and get a security system, that'll help protect your home. That'll help police identify these criminals. Yeah, well, it doesn't. Why? They're all covered up. No one knows who they are. All we know is some people that were covered from head to toe in clothing. You can barely even see them. Robbed your home, and if we see anybody who looks like that, maybe they'll be the same person. There's no reassurance for these homeowners. They've all got security systems, which means the law-abiding can do nothing to stop this kind of thing.
Into twice in 24 hours this weekend.
Wow.
The thieves here also breaking in through a window.
When you have these high-end homes in the Hollywood Hills, Mulholland Drive, and the Sherman Oaks area, these are all high-value property homes.
Law enforcement experts say thieves are targeting homes in these neighborhoods, sometimes watching for weeks to see what's inside and when homeowners are usually away.
They tend to then have large amounts of cash, high-end value jewelry, expensive vehicles. So this is why it's very important to take extra measures to protect yourself and your loved ones.
So what are the...
An hour apart, one on Hespy Street and the other on
Every
Hatteras
hour.
Street in North Hollywood. In all of these crimes, the thieves got away. And today, Mayor Karen
They all
Bass
got away.
announced that the LAPD will have additional patrols along Ventura Boulevard, but this is not where the burglaries are occurring. The mayor also said that there will be license plate readers that will be used, and the city will be hosting community meetings. Now,
Right. So while this person is hosting plywood to board up their home, the community is going to have some meetings that the mayor is going to organize, and they're going to have police in another area of town patrolling that area, which is supposed to make people over here where the break-ins are happening feel safe. Like, this is not a solution. This is just people talking about what's wrong and doing nothing about it. There is only one solution. Criminals do not understand anything other than jails and jumpsuits, okay? They don't understand diversion. They don't understand second chances. Those are just a continue in the real life game of GTA that they're playing with people's properties, people who've worked very hard, by the way, and this whole idea that we're gonna have license plate readers, that's not gonna do anything.
Probably like 1:30 in the morning.
Mark Grossen lives on Berry Court, where his cameras caught these cars around 1:30 early Sunday morning.
When I looked on the cameras, the one thing they do is that they cover their license plate, so it's really hard to identify them. It seemed very highly organized. That's kind of what's disturbing.
Yeah, because they know that there's cameras. They know that the license plate of their vehicle will mean that that vehicle gets tracked down and they potentially get caught committing a crime. So what do? They eliminate the ability of any passive device to catch them. Cameras are useless, plate readers are useless, and as you're about to see, it's not just the wealthy that are getting hit here.
Burger Basket has been a staple mom and pop shop in Monrovia since 1963, back when a quarter-pound patty and fries was just 65 cents. But they've been closed for a couple of weeks because one of the owners who mans the grill has been hospitalized due to stress after thieves broke into their nearby home and stole their entire life savings.
We don't have much time left already. We're not young anymore.
Pan and her husband Vorawat were hoping to retire in 5 to 7 years with the $140,000 in cash.
This is awful, man. These are the people who suffer the most because of this. It's not like crime is just affecting people who are rich and people who have made themselves a target. No, everyone's a target in a lawless environment. Nobody gets away unscathed except the criminals. That's why it's a lawless environment. And here you got people breaking through a door. Look, they broke through the screen door on this porch and went into these people's house and took everything they had. And now they can't retire.
Inside a lockbox at their home. Security cameras captured these men rifling through their belongings back on March 26th. One guy knocked on the door first. Then the family says 2 others broke in through a small window, manhandled their dogs, and stole priceless mementos handed down through their family over generations.
That's awful.
In addition to the money in the lockbox.
Those money actually is for my retirement. Yeah. So that I've been working for 30 years.
Right. So you got people who came here, obeyed the laws, went after the American dream, worked hard for 30 years, and what happens? A lawless city allows that to be stolen from them? You literally have people having their American dream taken out of their hands, taken out of their apartment in the middle of the day by criminals while they're at work making our country a better place. This should be a major red flag, and nobody should be able to get away with this and walk the streets after. But that's the type of society people think is okay in California for some reason. We think it's
not even just in California. That's a lot of places. Because again, the system is a big cause. Because jail is a part of the problem. Prison is a part of the problem. It don't rehabilitate people. Like Cass Jordan mentioned earlier in the video, it hardens the criminals. It hardens them. It seeps a grudge seeps in their soul against the system. And if they're not strong enough in the mind to seek enough knowledge to overcome and think outside the box, they're going to keep being drawn into the cycle. Because jail is not a place for rehabilitation. And that's something I've been thinking about. Like, what should be the purpose of jail? Should it be punishment or should it be rehabilitation? And they say it's for rehabilitation, but then we think it's for punishment. Because if it's for punishment, And those people are going to get angry and hold a grudge, so they probably shouldn't be let back out. But is that a bit inhumane? Or they should just be released once they've shown that they have been rehabilitated? But can they rehabilitate people and punish them at the same time? Because I feel like certain criminals that do certain that commit heinous crimes, they shouldn't be rehabilitated. They should be committed forever. But I feel like petty criminals that commit petty crimes, yes, they should be rehabilitated. They should be taught in society. They should be taught how to coexist in a society, how to make correct choices and things like that. I don't know how the jail system is in California, but that's how it is down here in Maryland, and that needs to change.
Okay to allow teenagers to commit crime all over town because, oh, it's not a big deal. And then when people get caught breaking into some home or breaking into a jewelry store, stealing a whole bunch of stuff, then we decide to possibly start dealing with the ramifications of their criminal activity. Then we start to take this seriously. So that's the problem. You can't just go after the crime at the very top. And this is what socialized justice systems say. They say, hey, you know what? The stuff at the bottom, let's let that go. We don't want to have over-incarceration. We don't want to waste the police's time with people stealing candy. But what happens? Those people work their way up. And now you have overall higher levels of home invasions, carjackings, these wild crimes, because you got people that have been criminals for decades by the time they get to that level where they're breaking into these homes, where they've got a crowbar and they're cracking the safe at a jewelry store. That person didn't get up yesterday and figure that out. No, they built up to it. And unless you're going to stop people from climbing the looters pyramid, they're going to do it.
Now, I disagree, but just not wholeheartedly. Now, I do feel as though they shouldn't turn a nose to the petty crime, but they shouldn't prosecute it to the fullest extent. Like I said, the petty crime should be rehabilitated. They the ones that need to be monitored and taught how to re-enter society and coexist as a law-abiding citizen. But all of the people that do heinous crimes like commit murders and things like that, I feel as though they just need to be punished and maybe locked away without the possibility of getting out. But then the court process needs to change too, because we have innocent people doing crimes that people was free committed, and vice versa. So, but I ain't going to keep babbling on. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Now, I know this is going to be a real sensitive topic, but let's not try to marginalize this to completely get off topic. Let me know what you guys think about this. What you think needs to happen in California for them to fix this problem. They definitely needs to start funding more money into the authority budget, for one. That's number one. And I also feel as though they need to restructure the jails and the whole criminal justice system. They don't need that felony or misdemeanor. They need to break it down to minor and extreme. The minor people need rehabilitation. The extreme people need punishment. That's my take on it. Let me know yours. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like and that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the gang. If you already hit the subscribe button, I thank you. We just reached 100 subscribers, so we're doing a giveaway. The question to my subscribers for the giveaway is, what is my second most viewed video on this channel? First 3 people with correct answers is the winners. First place will receive $100. Thank you to everybody that's been tapping into the website, The Urban Experience, at www.thaturbanexperience.com. I drop videos every day, at least 3, 7 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. All bonus videos will be dropped at 7 p.m. You can also catch me on Twitch live every day at 5 p.m. www.twitch.tv/TWizzleTV. Once again, I want to thank everybody that's been a part of this experience, making this a great channel, engaging, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'm going to see y'all on the next video. Thank y'all for watching. And shout out to Cash Jordan for the clip.
She didn't have to